Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You have seen an escalation in the diplomatic war between Canada and India, and though Canada is not India's equal by any measure, it's a smaller economy, a smaller country, not very powerful. But the fact of the matter is, it has decided to link its internal politics to its relationship with India. And I just wanted to start by explaining to you how stupid this Trudeau is, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Trudeau. He's stupid because he thinks we can't see through what he's doing. The fact of the matter is he's going to lose the election. He has a minority government, a very weak government. He's a very weak prime minister who has lost one of his major allies, a man called Jagmeet Singh, leader of the New Democratic Party. He's the main crutch of Trudeau's slender majority. And today, if there is a confidence vote in Canada, Justin Trudeau knows that he cannot win that confidence vote. In other words, he's hanging by a thread. He can go anytime. So he's trying to become very pro-Khalistani, very pro-Khalistan terrorist. And he's realized that the more pro-Khalistan terrorist he becomes, he has some chance of surviving. But Justin Trudeau, you're completely wrong there. You're only going to end up embarrassing yourself and being known as a global terrorist supporter. Point number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is that he has to appear before the Foreign Affairs Committee, and he has nothing to prove his case. And India has been saying for a very long time that what proof do you have about any involvement of any Indian diplomat or Indian government in the killing of a Khalistani terrorist called Hardeep Singh Nijjar? He has been unable to prove anything because he knows he can prove nothing. He's got to appear a little bit aggressive. He tried to actually accost Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the ASEAN, and he's completely desperate, this Trudeau fellow. The third angle that I want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, is that please keep in mind that Trudeau is not acting on his own. My view is that Trudeau is part of the same Western alliance that is anti-Modi, that is anti-BJP, which would rather see a Congress government in power or any other weak government in power, a maneuverable government in power. And please keep in mind that Trudeau supported the Congress party's position on the so-called farmers' protest, and that this whole political establishment in India that was seen to be pro-farmers, that said that farmers are anti-BJP and anti-Modi, has got a shock after the Haryana elections. And maybe it's possible, I'm not saying it is, that what Trudeau is doing is part of an overall global response to Modi and the BJP being stronger after the Haryana elections. Ladies and gentlemen, the Canadians should know what is better for them. And if there are Canadians watching this program tonight, please realize what is your country being seen as. Your country has become like Pakistan. You're a haven for terrorists. Haven for terrorists. Like Pakistan was giving sanctuary to Osama bin Laden, you're giving sanctuary to the Khalistani terrorists. There's no difference. There's no difference. Ladies and gentlemen, the other point is that the Canadians must understand that on their soil today, there are celebrations of the assassinations of prime ministers in other countries. The assassination of Indira Gandhi was celebrated on the streets of Canada. And the Canadians did absolutely nothing except make a few noises. This is unacceptable for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely delighted that the Prime Minister and the government of India has carried out a surgical strike on Canada. And let me tell you, the Canadians are in absolutely no position to respond. They are a weak country. They depend on us. They broke off all diplomatic links with us without any evidence to substantiate their claims. They have given up their terrorists. They've handed Canadian citizenship to terrorists who are working to kill Indian politicians and Indian political personalities. They have actively supported and sponsored people who are targeting India's sovereignty. They have allowed the glorification of assassinations of Indian prime ministers. They've been harboring terrorists like Pannoon, like Nijjar, and does nothing to them. When Indian diplomats have threats to their life, then the Canadians yet do nothing about it. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to sit down and let the Canadians get away. Canadians must also understand one last thing, that when 329 people were killed on an Air India plane 182 on its way to Canada, Canadians must remind Trudeau that out of those 329 killed, only 24 were Indians. The majority of them, over 250, were Canadians. And today, It is a tragedy that Canada is teaming up with the same terrorists who have bombed planes and killed Canadians. If this continues to be the road they are on, they are the next Pakistan, the next Afghanistan. Nothing more needs to be said.